this was always the plan from the jump. Like the Jews were supposed to have, they have Yahweh, they were supposed to teach the whole world. Mm-hmm. And what happened is that they looked at it and they turned it towards themselves, and they turned it to pride, self-righteousness, and all these things, and said it's ours, and they held it and did not want to share with the world. But there was always God's plan to have it go to the Gentiles. So what happened is that God is not surprised. He knew that this was happening. So he would turn their wickedness of them holding for themselves for good by giving it to the Gentiles, because it was going to go to them anyway. And you just seeing how, and another thing is that you always see the Lord works in that fashion, in his divine providence. Like before Israel, before they took over, went into the land of Canaan, right? They were in captivity. They were in Egypt for 400 years, and they were not allowed to go there yet, right? They had to, because he was letting the sins of the Amorites reach to a certain level. And then after you reach, because they would not repent, then Israel came in and took it over. Right. And then when Israel comes in, it's like Israel was living, all right, you're gonna you have to continue to follow me. But once you go against me, I'm gonna bring judgment against you. And he let their sin go up. Yeah. And then what happens? And then the next nations came, the Assyrians came, and then the Babylonians. So you always see God working the nations as like, okay, I'm gonna give you time to repent. You don't repent, another nation's gonna come and take you out and do the job. And then when they fall, and so you constantly see this constant up and down with, God using the nations to bring about his will. So, and I see the same thing. First, the Jews, they were supposed to be doing it and they fell. So now he said, Gentiles, now you're going to do the work. And then what's going to happen towards the end is that as we're approaching, you see more apostasy in the Gentile world. And what's going to happen once the church is raptured out, then it's going to flip back to Jews again. So you always see in a balancing act between the nations and between Jews and Gentiles.
Mm-hmm.